Hello, classy people. How y'all doing? My name is Wayne Bolden. I hope everybody's had a great work week. We're here to do the Travers. We got some Mr. Ortiz in the background pumping some funk. We're going to do the Travers. It's a grade 1. You know it's going a mile and a quarter for 1.25 million shackles. And the champion's in there. But before we dial into this analysis, do us a big favor. We can use your support. You guys been so great to us. But please subscribe if you haven't. Ring the bell. You will get notified. And most of all, comment, like us. As always, if you want a Speed King shirt, speedking24@yahoo.com. Email us. Let's dial in. Let's get rid of Mr. Ortiz with that jazzy mood funk in there. And of course, you know, if you don't now, you do. Well, here's the granddaddy of them all. There's a big day on Saturday up at Saratoga. The fans are on their feet. They here to see the Travers grade 1. Somebody in there name Essential Quality. Let's give him his due. He's the number 2 horse. We'll start with him because he's the champ. Let's bow and give him his due. The champ is trained by, that's right, the untouchable barn of Brad Cox, which makes Essential Quality a merry horse from Brad Cox barn. He is the 2-year-old champion. This is how I knew he was good. This is how I knew Essential Quality was good in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, because when you run by Jackie's Warrior, you're good. I didn't say beat Jackie's Warrior on the money or at the wire. Okay, I get that. But he ran by Jackie's Warrior. You don't run by Jackie's Warrior. Okay? You don't run by Jackie's Warrior. That's when I knew Essential Quality was a very, very good horse. Because I understand how good Jackie Warrior is. And Essential Quality won the 2-year-old champion. He came back. He ran 4th in the Derby, and of course before that he won the Bluegrass, beating Highly Motivated and young man Rumble Rambauer. He came back and he won the Belmont Stakes in ugly fashion. That's how he does it. You know, wide all the time. He comes back, he's struggling. It looks like against Keep Me in Mind in the Jim Dandy, but he gets it done, which makes him 7 wins out of 8 starts for a cool $3.5 million. Hats off to EQ, Essential Quality, and Brad Cox and all of his connections. I know a lot of people are negative on him and want to beat up on him, but the bottom line is you win 7 races out of your 8. That makes you a champion. You know, it ain't got to be pretty. You just beat the team that's in front of you. That's what he's done. So we're going to give him his due. We're going to acknowledge that he's the champ, and then we'll go from there. Let's dial into the analysis. The number 1 horse is Midnight Bourbon, and I don't need to tell you. He's trained by my guy, that's right, one of my favorite 2 trainers in the country, Steve Asmussen. And Midnight Bourbon was my Derby pick. And he got bumped in the Derby, and he didn't have a very good start in the Derby. He came out of the Derby, and this is where I think he turned the corner when he went into the Preakness on May 18th. He was 5 or 4, 5 wide down the backside on the outside of Medina Spirit, turned for home. Midnight Bourbon looks like a winner in the Preakness. But here comes the young man Rumble horse, Rambauer's, who's a very little horse. I didn't know he was that small. And he ran by him, and good for him. But Midnight Bourbon ran a winning race in the Preakness. I think it's that race where he moved forward. I think it's that race that's going to make him very viable here in the Travers Stakes. Off of that race, May 1st, 15 days later, they roll him back. Two months later, they roll him back into the Haskell. And that's where the fiasco happened. Of course, you know, Hot Rod Chuck with Pratt up, he clipped Hills. He went down, and thank God nobody got hurt. Okay, Paco Lopez didn't get hurt. The horse didn't get hurt. So he didn't finish the race. That was on May 17th. So really, Midnight Bourbon hasn't ran a race since May 15th. This horse is fresh, this horse is fit, this horse is fast. It's his best speed figure out of the Preakness. He is the speed in the Travers. He's on the rail. He should save the ground. This horse is going to be tough. This horse is going to be tough. That's the number 1 horse, my Derby pick, Midnight Bourbon. The number 2, Essential Quality. We talked about all his accolades, of course. You know, you don't need me to tell you. And he's going to be very, very short. It is a Godolphin horse, owned and bred. He's going to be very, very short. He's 4 to 5 on the morning line, and of course, he's the horse to beat. What am I telling you? And the number 3 horse, Keep Me in Mind. Let me just give him some accolades. Keep Me in Mind never wins nothing. Ever. But he always shows up for the dance. So to him and his connections, I appreciate that. This horse tries his eyeballs out each and every time. Keep Me in Mind runs a bang up race. I mean, he just shows up. I like that. But the fact of the matter is that he's overmatched in here. He hasn't won a race since he's 2-year-old. He's 0 for 6 this year. So we're going to throw Keep Me in Mind right off the ticket, particularly in the win spot. If you want to use them underneath, if you're playing tries and exactas, by all means, go ahead, be my guest. That's the number 3. We're throwing him out. The number 4 horse, Dynamic One. I can't throw this one out fast enough. Todd Pletcher, Dynamic One, 7 starts, 2 wins in 2 seconds. This horse is by Union Rags. I got some respect there. But the mere fact of the matter is that Dynamic One, the number 4 horse's speed figures are horrible. They're ugly. I don't like them. And I'm throwing him directly off the ticket. He's worse than Keep Me in Mind. I don't like this horse. I'm throwing him out. Dynamic One. And Miles D. Well, Miles D got beat by Dynamic One. And I know it's Chad Brown, the grass master. This horse only got 1 win, and that was a maiden win 2 back on June 12th. And now he's supposed to beat the likes of Essential Quality, Miles D, and the likes of Midnight Bourbon? I don't think so. Throw Miles D off the ticket. This horse ain't winning this race. Not in this lifetime. And the number 6 horse, well, here's the go Mass Parade. Y'all remember, if you go back and look at some of our old videos, how much I was in love with Mass Parade in the Ohio Derby. I thought I was going to make some noise because I seen 10 to 1 on the morning line. I seen the speed figures and his competition, and I'm like, boy, this is a good thing. Right? And he opened up at 8 to 5, going off at 2 to 1. He wins the Ohio Derby with Mr. Mena up, and a wonderful, wonderful job beating King Fury, the 7 horse in this race, and beating the number 3 horse, Keep Me in Mind. It comes out of the Ohio Derby. 1 month later, he shows up in the Jim Dandy here at Saratoga, grade 2, against Essential Quality, Keep Me in Mind. He did run 3rd. He was forwardly placed. His speed figure is okay. And the number 6, Mass Parade, can and should be used underneath. Do I think he can win this race? Not in this lifetime. Not in this lifetime. Not against the first 2 horses. Not here. Okay, I mean, it's nice you won the Ohio Derby. He's by Upstart. He has 3 wins. It is Albert Stall Jr. And they brought Mr. Mena in, and that's fine. They should have probably put a different jock on him up in New York, because they'll give him the New York shuffle up there, Mr. Mena. This is big boy stuff up here. But I mean, I ain't that negative against Mass Parade. Obviously, I cashed a huge ticket on him in the Ohio Derby. He's 6 to 1 in this spot. That's fairly good. I would use him underneath. I don't think he's a win contender at all here. I don't think Mass Parade, the number 6, is a win contender in this Travers Stakes. And the number 7 horse, King Fury. Well, I don't have to tell you about Mr. Fury. He's trained by McPeak and McPeak. He's got 8 starts and 3 wins. And you remember when I loved him, right? Back in the Lexington where he cut the corner, and I didn't think it was that race. I thought it was going to be the next one. I did have a $20 bill on him. He was 16 or 17 and 1, so we made a few shackles. But the fact of the matter is, just like Mass Parade, Dynamic One, and Keep Me in Mind, the speed figures are just too weak here. So if you want to use King Fury underneath, and you know I like Mass Parade, you know I like King Fury. I cash tickets on all these horses. But they're not beating. They're not beating these horses. So that's how that goes now. So there is your field in the Travers Stake. This don't take long. Now, how do I think the race is going to shape up? Well, I think the race is obviously Midnight Bourbon can get the lead, and Mass Parade does have speed. I would like to see Mass Parade go and Midnight Bourbon sit second. Here is the key to the race. Essential Quality, out of all of his races, he's always wide. He won't be wide. There's no reason for Essential. He's going to be wide. He's actually going to save ground for the first time, just by the field, the size of the field, and the way that it draws. So either Midnight Bourbon is going to be on the lead and Mass Parade is going to be second, or vice versa. And Essential Quality has enough speed to be tactical. He's going to be sitting third, and he's not going to be that far off. Now, if I owned him and if I trained him, I think I'm the best horse. I wouldn't be sitting back. I would be taking it to him. If you're the best horse, go beat him. Okay? So that's the deal. Who am I taking? I'm going to go ahead and lean towards Midnight Bourbon. I'm going to upset the champ. That's right. That's what the Speed King said. We're going to pop the champ. I know y'all thought I was waving his flag a couple weeks ago. I don't got nothing but respect for him because he ran by Jackie's Warrior. And you don't run by Jackie's Warrior. You may beat Jackie's Warrior on the money or on the square or at the wire, but you don't run by Jackie's Warrior. Essential Quality ran by Jackie's Warrior. I know how good Jackie's Warrior is. So that's when I knew Essential Quality was very, very special. And that was at 2-year-old. I don't know if you can run by Jackie's Warrior now like that. I don't think so. But anyway, Essential Quality is going to save a bunch of ground this time. And we've never seen that. And that's what's scary, because if he saved ground and cut the corner, you may get a peek at a horse winning by 6 or 7 lengths. That could very well happen here. You got to realize this field is small. This horse is tactical, and it ain't like those other fields. He's not outside. This horse is going to save a ton of ground, and that has never happened for him. That's what scares me, that he's going to be sitting third behind Midnight Bourbon and Mass Parade. And once he turns for home, saving ground and cut off to the second hole, yo man, this horse's speed figures are phenomenal. On the Ragasons, he's running negative numbers. That's huge. You know, his buyers are good, his time form is good, but we're going to try to upset him. So we're going to lean with our Derby pick here. We believe that the Preakness is the stamp race for Midnight Bourbon. He hasn't ran since May because of the hassle and effort. This horse should be fresh, this horse should be fit, and we know that he's fast, and we hope that he's improved. He does have a race back there at the Preakness where his speed figure is just as good as Essential Quality's last one, not the 1-2 back, but the last one, because Essential Quality speed figure 2 back in the Belmont Stakes stomps this field. No, stomps this field. But his last one is good, and Midnight Bourbon's last one is equally as good. I think Midnight Bourbon has improved. I'm getting 9-2. I'll take my chances with my Derby pick to upset the champion. That's right, y'all. As always, your Speed King is going up on after limb. Not really a lot, because this was my Derby pick. Midnight Bourbon, me and my buddy down there, right, Nick know it. This was our Derby pick, Midnight Bourbon, and I think he has improved, and I think it's the Preakness race that's really going to put him on the map. So, we love the price. As always, if you're watching this video, look at our disclaimer down there. The Speed King is threatening to upset. That's right. The Speed King's going to upset the champion on Saturday up at Travers. That's right. The Graveyard, Saratoga, a favorite. Let's get him, Steve Asmussen. That's my guy. I'll lean with him each and every time. Him and Billy Mott. I respect Steve Asmussen. He's my guy. If anybody can upset the champ, it is Asmussen. It is Midnight Bourbon. Watch this, folks. Let's get it done. We love Midnight Bourbon. As always, we're going to stomp the champ. As always, it won't be easy, but we're going to try. Stay classy in all you do. Enjoy your weekend. There's races all over the place. Grade 1 races everywhere. And of course, we're going to have a bunch of fun. We're going to make us some shackles. And as always, folks, I respect you. Please subscribe. Enjoy the jazz while we let it run for a minute. Let's get them with Midnight Bourbon. Asmussen, my God. It won't be the first time that I upset a field. We like Midnight Bourbon a bunch here, y'all. Hope he sits second behind Mass Parade. Get the jump on EQ. Turn it for home. Take the picture. Santana and Asmussen. in the winner's circle. As always, your Speed King is having a bunch of fun. Hey, if the people go low, you know what to do. Go high. I'm out, y'all. Midnight Bourbon.